Guys, what's up? It's Sam, and today I have my July and Booktubeathon wrap-up video. Boom. Okay, but before we get in, can we just talk about how happy and sad I am that Booktubeathon is over? Like, on one end, I'm like, oh, Booktubeathon's over. No. And the other end, I'm like, thank God. All in all, I did have a good time. Don't make me being stupid deter you. I did have a great time. It was just really draining and exhausting. As usual, I love Booktubeathon. But anyway, let's get on into this wrap up. Let's start with Booktubeathon. So the first book that I read for Booktubeathon is Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets by j.k. Rowling. This was my book for the Hyped Book Challenge, and I was originally going to do Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban for this challenge, but I still didn't finish Chamber of Secrets. I thought I would have been done when I filmed my TBR, but as usual, I was not. So this became my hyped book. I just pushed Azkaban on the back burner. It just shoot. I really did like this. I think I preferred this book over the first one just because there was a lot more character building in this one, and we have an introduction of new characters. I felt like it enhanced the plot greatly. And we got to see different parts of Hogwarts that we never got to see before, and I thought that was really cool. I did give this 4 out of 5 stars just because Gilderoy Lockhart pisses me off. The next book I read for Booktubeathon is All the Words Are Yours by Tyler Knott Gregson, which is a haiku collection on love. Now, I really liked this one, but I didn't love it. Like, when I read a poetry collection, or in this case a haiku collection, when I finish a poem or a haiku, I want to be able to sit there and be like, wow, like, how can I better myself through it? Or how can I relate this back to my life? Can I reflect? I didn't get this with this. It was just me flipping pages and be like, oh, that's nice. A lot of them I didn't understand how it could relate back to love, and maybe that's just because of my experience in life currently, and maybe if later on down the road I pick this up, maybe I can better understand it. But right now in my life, I didn't care for it. A solid 3 stars on Goodreads. It is a great haiku collection. It just didn't change my life as I hoped it would. The next book I read for Booktubeathon is My Year of Epic Rock by Andrea Pyros. I didn't really enjoy it. I realized I spent most of my time annoyed at the main character. There wasn't a lot of character development in it. Everything felt non-inherent. Feelings were brought up that didn't happen naturally, or we never saw throughout the progression of the novel. And you just had to be like, oh, that's a thing. Okay, great. It was lackluster. Nothing was ever built, and when we were getting a more deeper sense of a character, it just stopped, and we never saw the character again. And I was just like, what was really the point of this character? Like, I have a firm belief that every character that comes into the page has pushes the plot forward in some way, and I felt like a lot of the characters in this didn't do that. It was just there to be there. I gave this 2 stars on Goodreads. The next book that I read in Booktubeathon is Every Heart a Doorway by Seanan McGuire. This book was for my Read a Book in One Day challenge, and oh my gosh, so much redemption happened with this book. I read this after I read My Year of Epic Rock, and I was just like, this is, what if this turns out crap? Because it's only 169 pages. But everybody I talked to said it's not, it does it justice. So I went in, and oh my goodness, it was so good. So good. I mean, the character building from the very first page is just off the charts. The world building, oh my gosh, like, I still am amazed at how much world building happened in only 169 pages. Like, how in depth she went in this short span of time, it mind boggles me. It was so good. And not only are we given such a wide spectrum of world building, but we're also given a very, very diverse cast. Like, the main character identifies as asexual. We have Asian characters, people from different races and religions and thoughts and beliefs, all in this one building. And it all conglomerated together so perfectly, and it was so good. I did give this book 5 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. Because you just have to read this. Next book I read, I audiobooked it, is Simon versus the Homo Sapien Agenda by Becky Albertalli. I audiobooked it, like I said, and this one was for my read a book with a character that differs from you challenge. And this probably by far is my favorite book in the entire Booktubeathon. I loved it so much. I think I read it, I'm gonna say Thursday. I think I read it Thursday, and I spent the entire day just reading it. I finished it the first time, and then I went back to read it again. It was so good. There was a cast of diverse characters that all blended together, and every single person pushed the plot forward. There was purpose for the character, and the development of these characters were phenomenal. And I'm not even just talking about the main character development, but the supporting characters. They just, it was so good. I could literally go on all day talking about this book. And if you do want me to, let me know in the comments below, and I will actually do a review, because I really loved this book, guys. It was For this book, I did give 10 out of 5 stars, so if that tells you how trash I am for this book, then I don't know what else will. The next book that I read for Booktubeathon was for my cover buy, and that is We Are Okay by Nina LaCour. First of all, can we just love this cover? Like, I liked this book a lot. It dealt with a lot of things that I could relate to, and I could seriously relate to the main character of this book, Marin. I'm gonna say Marin. I think it handled the topics of depression and loneliness really well. Everybody told me that I was going to cry with this book. I didn't cry. I did tear up a little bit, but there was no spillage of the water tear, the waterworks. I did think this was really good. I just felt like it was missing a piece of it. I did give this 3.5 stars. I did like it. I liked it a lot, just not enough to make me want to reread it again. The next book I read was an ebook, and that is Saga Volume 4 by Brian K. Vaughan. I don't know. I'm gonna butcher his name, so I'm just going with Brian. Here it goes again. I didn't like this one. I preferred Volume 3, even Volume 2, over this one. I felt like this was just a filler. There were moments where I was like, oh snap, what? But not where I'm like, well, let me flip more pages, find out what happens. Whereas with the other volumes, I was like knee deep in flippage. It is there. I'm hoping that Volume 5 will be better than Volume 4, but if this is just the beginning of a downhill cast with the Saga series, I'm just gonna be a sad bunny, because I really, really enjoyed it. I did give this 3 stars because there was those oh crap moments, but nothing more. And that completes my Booktubeathon reads, and let's total this bad boy up. The total pages I read during Booktubeathon was 1,555 pages. I read a total of 7 books, and I completed all 7 challenges. Woohoo! I am honestly so freaking shocked that I actually got it done and read all the pages that I needed to, and completed all the challenges and completed all the books. Literally, it was down to the wire feel very accomplished. With that being said, let us move in to the 2 books that I've read in July. The first book that I read in the month of July is Why We March: Signs of Protest and Hope by Artisan Press. This book is actually just a collection of photographs from the Women's March back in January. I thought it was a great way for me to step back and reflect on my own life and my own beliefs, and if with those signs did I believe the same thing, or how did I differ from this person. So I really enjoyed it. The last book that I read in the month of July is For the Colored Girls Who Considered Suicide When the Rainbow Is Enough by Ntozake Shange. I'm probably totally butchered your name and I apologize strongly. This is a choreo poem. If I understand correctly, it's basically spoken word mixed with theater, because the text within is written for the stage. It has stage directions and lighting directions and everything, but this is written in verse. I really did like this. I would say it was a difficult read to understand. You really have to focus with this one. And when I say focus, I mean if you skip a line or you skim, you're going to lose the complete message of the story within it. Like, every sentence has a purpose within the story it's trying to tell. And this book follows I think 5 or 6 different girls who each are represented by a color on the rainbow, and how their descent into considering suicide and how they overcame that, or if they overcame that. This book really highlights what it's like to be a female of color in the 20th century and the struggles that contains in of itself. And it was just so powerful. However, it was hard to glean from it, if that makes sense. I did have trouble comprehending what was trying to be said in the first half of the book. I felt like I was just getting to know these characters, and the way that the wording is, the accents and the slants and the spelling. But as soon as I picked that up and got accustomed to it, it was really good, and I highly enjoyed it. I think I gave this 4.5 stars on Goodreads. The half star just because it took a while for me to get into. So that is it, guys. That is all the books that I read in the month of July. It's a total of 9 books if you include Booktubeathon in it. If you don't, I read 2. That's fine. In total, for the complete month, Booktubeathon included, I read 1,883 pages. Holy cannoli on a British bagel. What? Like, my mind is boggled. I read 9 books, which, like, hurrah to me, and half of that was in 1 week. I read 7 books in 1 week, which will probably never happen for the rest of the year. But who knows? I don't know. I don't even know what I'm saying. But yeah, guys, that is it. That is my July and Booktubeathon wrap-up. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know down below if you've read any of the books I've mentioned here. And how you liked it, or if you want to read these books. I don't know. I want to talk to you guys because y'all are cool and I like y'all. If you like this video, give it a big thumbs up. I make videos weekly, so if you want to get notified of when I make videos, hit that subscribe button. I don't know where it is. It's going to pop up somewhere on the screen later. But that is it. I will see you guys next week. Bye.